Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel, dear friends, dear viewers. So I played my third game for Tajfun, and we managed to win 4-2. It was very tough match. Yes, here we can see that on board 1 I won with the white pieces against Barbot, and on last board Zala won against almost 2000 rated player with the black pieces. So team managed to win 4-2, but again we see that our main opponents, rivals, are winning all their matches, and they won 5-1. So let me show you the standings. Maybe this one, not this one, or it's this one. Yes, it's here. Yes. So you see that after 6 rounds, two teams are having 12 team points, which means that both the teams won all the matches, and tie breaks are good for Maribor Polygram. They have 32.5 points. Tajfun has 29 points. We see that Maribor won 3 matches with the score 6-0. So now it will be some break in Slovenian league, and last 3 rounds will be played upcoming weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I want to show my game against Pierre Barbot. So I didn't have much time because we had round on Sunday 10 a.m. Morning, and also before the round, before the game, we should check out from the hotel, so that also took some time. So I didn't really have much time to really seriously prepare against my opponent, so I decided to surprise him and myself as well with the c4 move. He played e5, I went knight c3, bishop b4. So last couple of years I myself started playing this bishop b4 move with the black pieces, so I'm more than enough familiar with this line. I played knight d5, bishop e7. Yes, here d4 move is possible. He takes d, queen d4, knight f6, knight d7, queen e7, bishop g5, knight c6. I can recommend you here. Yes, instead of going knight d5, instead of going d6, d5 move, I can recommend you. I think Alexander Predke recently played against Vahidov Jahangir, and he won very nice game in Uzbekistan round robin tournament. I should say that Jahangir is well prepared in the openings, because he was helping Ding Liren for the match against Jan Nepomniachtchi. Yes, I played knight f3, d6, and I played g3. I think recently John Scavain played this move against Robert Ovanesyan. Let me check it. Yes, John Ovanesyan. What did Robert play? Oh, yes, Robert played knight f6, knight c3, and c5. Yes, I think I also played against Caruana. It was titled Tuesday, and Fabi played knight c3. I think in my game I played some short castle. What did I play? I played short castle bishop g2, c6, short castle rook e8. But Robert played yes, Robert played c5, bishop g2, knight c6, d3, h6. But I see that Robert had another game against Hagmar Dirosian. Game ended in a draw. So Robert played c5, bishop g2, knight c6, d3, h6 again. Yes, but my opponent here went c6. So I really wanted to play what Caruana played against me, or what Jones played against Robert Ovanesyan, but my opponent played c6, and here I was thinking about knight c3 and knight e7. I didn't play knight c3 because of f5, and knight is coming to f6. For example, bishop g2, knight f6. Whenever white goes d4, then e4 comes. So that's why I took knight e7, queen takes e7. I played bishop g2, and here, of course, black can go knight f6, but I think the way my opponent played is more challenging for white. So f5, I played short castle, knight f6, and here maybe I made some inaccuracy. It would have been stronger to start with b4. I played d3, and for example, here opponent could already play some a5, stopping b4. Yes, he played short castle, I played b4, and he went a5. I didn't want to take on a5 and ruin my structure. That's why I played b5 and c5. Here I thought I'm doing at least slightly better. I started with e3. I wanted to have my bishop on b2 because I didn't like any ideas like bishop g5, opponent just goes knight b7, and later on forces me to take on f6 with h6 move. If I go knight d2, knight b1, knight c3, or knight e1, knight c2, knight e3, it will take a lot of time. First of all, opponent always can go knight b7, knight b6, or even if he doesn't do it, then knight on f6 is simply enough to protect, to cover d5 square. That's why I played e3 with the idea to have my bishop on b2 and stop all kind of f4 ideas. So whenever opponent goes f4, I can take with the e3 pawn. Yes, my opponent played knight b7, I played bishop b2. Of course, here b6 doesn't work because of knight e5. Here as well, b6 doesn't work because of knight e5, d takes e, bishop a8, queen takes e5, d4. And here I was mainly considering knight b6, and I wanted to go something like knight d2, preparing f4, or even maybe queen c2, because now if you go bishop e6, some knight g5 ideas are there. My opponent played rook b8, very classy move. He slowly preparing b6 and bishop b7. After the game, my opponent said that it would have been more precise to go rook a7 and then b6, because later on black can get some benefits of having rook on 7th rank. Yeah, rook b8, and here I went knight h4, which is very concrete move, forces some concrete actions from my opponent, but long term I don't think I really want to have my knight on h4. I would like to have my knight on d2 and then f4 and then maybe somewhere e4. So I played knight h4, my opponent played g6, I went f4 and he played b6. So he really wants to go bishop b7, and I really spent enough time and couldn't really understand what is going on. Because one idea was, for example, generally speaking, white wants to play queen d2, rook a e1, and then somewhere e4. So queen d2, bishop b7. I was thinking about bishop h3, and then later on I can bring my rook to e1, but he will play some rook e8. And then I was considering queen d2, bishop b7, knight f3. But I didn't like, being under this pin, and I cannot really move my knight. So I was thinking also to trade on b7, let's say queen d2, bishop b7, bishop b7, rook b7, rook e1. I was also thinking about some e4 ideas, but always f takes e comes, d takes c, bishop b7, e4 is hanging. So knight is so awkwardly placed on h4. I saw that I'm having some ideas with the whenever bishop b7, bishop c6 to play, and bishop c6, b takes c, knight is trapped on d7, but I wasn't sure what if opponent simply goes rook f c8 and forces me to take on b7. So eventually I played d4. I wasn't sure at all about this move. For example, c takes, e takes, e takes. I wanted to go g takes f. And let's say if you go some knight g4, queen e1 move is there. If you go bishop b7, some d5 is there. Yes. My opponent played e4. And here I was more than optimistic about my position after d5. Of course, I could maybe not rush with d5, because I don't think black is really threatening to take c takes d. But I was, I wanted to go d5 just to fix the structure, not let opponent to consider any c takes d ideas. That's why I played d5. And here I was very optimistic again, because I thought that I will play h3, maybe rook f2, bishop f1, bishop e2, and then I will slowly regroup my pieces and eventually go g4. It is very important that I'm having my pawn on f4 and opponent doesn't get control over e5 square, and I thought this is like one-sided game. White is just enjoying and black is suffering, but I was wrong. My opponent played rook f7, I played h3, he went knight e8, I played king h2, and I completely forgot about g5 ideas. I thought he wants to go maybe knight g7 and then bring another knight f6, and I was thinking about bringing my bishop to e2 and then slowly preparing this g4, of course after bringing the other rook from a1. But when he played g5, I was so shocked. F takes g, queen takes g5, and now he simply wants to play knight e5, the other knight comes to f6, bishop d7, rook is coming to f8, or maybe king h8, rook g8. And after spending a lot of time, I managed to see this. So knight e5, I was thinking about this, so now bishop e4, f takes c, bishop e5 is a threat, so that's why rook b7 is there, just protecting on f7. So I thought bishop f1 to play. For example, if you go some knight f6, bishop e2, stopping knight h5. Yes. You have rook g7 now, I should play queen e1. You can go maybe rook g7 here, but here I'm having more choice. Yes, but opponent played knight g7, which is a huge and decisive blunder. So white is having knight f5 even, because knight f5 there is rook g4, rook f5 there is rook g4. But even I went bishop g7, and yes, queen g7 there is knight f5, rook g7, f5 is hanging, king g7, knight f5. So my opponent took with the queen, I went knight f5, and here check. I thought maybe he wants to take rook f5 this, but I saw that rook f4 and here queen h5 is very strong. Yes, queen a1, queen e8, or queen f7. Yes, he played queen f8 after queen g4, king h8, knight d6. My opponent resigned, queen d6, there is rook f7, rook f4, queen f4. If you move the knight, then knight f7 comes with the check. Yes, huge blunder by my opponent, Pierre Barbot, 2440 rated player, and Yes, I managed to win this game, but of course I underestimated g5 idea at all. I thought I'm doing more than good with this dark squared bishop on long diagonal, but I was wrong. Thank you very much, dear friends. Hope you liked this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, leave your comments, and every time when I see your comments, it's very nice, and hopefully very soon I can record more videos. Thank you.